Hi, Pedro. Let's discuss today another question. I would like to talk with you about the scoring, how each question
Okay.
is evaluated, and the final result of the audit as well. So
Okay.
I'm giving you the voice.
Very good topic, and it's always a topic. And as a disclaimer, there will be always subjectivity. Let me make a comment that I normally do during trainings and during the audits. I practice that. For the scoring, we will have the 0, 4, 6, 8, or 10. If it is a 10, everything is okay. That's fine. No worries. But then 0, 4, 6, or 8, that's when the situations start to be a little bit fuzzy. So what I normally do is during an audit, I'm auditing and I'm starting detecting potential deviations. So the first topic is to make sure that it is really a deviation by asking, by closing the questions, by making sure that the conclusions are correct. But during that time, I start thinking also about the classification. And if it is not clear for me as an auditor, during the time that I'm in the shop floor with the auditee, if it is a 0, 4, a 6, or an 8, it means that I still need to ask some more questions. So let me share here the screen. So the classifications are like this. 10, when everything is okay. You audit, you ask for an evidence for another one, everything is okay, so it's a 10. An 8, when the requirements are mainly met, only in individual cases not. But it may be single cases, it may be documented related things with no impact on the product or process. You can say that it is a minor non-conformity, not forgetting that a minor non-conformity is something single. It's something with no impact on customer. Okay, so low risk. 6, it's already partially met. It's already a significant. It's more risky than the 8. If there are several incidents in the same topic, of course, or if the risk starts to be higher to us or to the customer. 0 and 4. 0 is also clear. If you ask something to the auditee and they don't have a clue of what you're talking about, of course it's a 0. But it might be a 0 even with something, with some procedures existing or some work instructions. But if the practice is consistently not okay, if the requirements are not met, as it says, then it's a 0. The 4 means that something can exist. Something might be done, but overall the risks are high. The risks internal or for the customer are high. So, okay, there is something that is being done, but overall it's a major non-conformity. And also to make 2 comments here for the 0 and 4. One, we can see during exams. During exams, we can see people saying, I will give a 6 because a 4 or a 0 is too severe. Well, it is as it is. If it is severe, is to use the 0 or the 4. Don't be afraid to do that as long as you have the evidence for that, of course, as in any audit. The other comment is that if you are using 0 or 4, potentially impact on the final classification A, B, or C might exist. If it is a 0, for sure it will exist. A 4, it will depend. There is subjectivity here. When I was saying I will, during the audit, see if it is a 0 or a 4, I just have an idea and I have the evidences for that. But I still need to sit by the end of the audit and evaluate the overall classifications to make sure that they are coherent, that they make sense among those. Another topic that is important, we didn't speak about this, we will have here in the VDA 6.3 the so-called star questions or asterisk questions. Forget that when you are classifying. You are classifying the findings, the evidences. So if it is a 4 or if it is a 8, it's a 4 or it is a 8. I'm not worried if it is a star question or not. If it is a star question or if there is some zeros or 4s, then we will have the next slide with the classifications. What counts? A, B, or C. And it can be, and it happens several times, having a classification, for instance, of 92%, but a classification of C. That can happen. For instance, if you have one single star question with a 0, then we will be C, independently of the percentage. Overall, you do your work, you do your classification, and then later on it will be the report form that will give you the final classification and then the final letter. But it's important for you that as auditor, that you know how to explain to the auditee why they were 92%, but the final classification is C. That will relate it to the downgrading rules that we need to evaluate individually to provide a proper justification to the auditee.
Exactly. So we can all see here in the scoring of the results of such an audit that this is risk-based thinking. Starting from the individual questions from 0 to 10 points, it's all about the risk for the customer, yes, for the organization as well. And also the evaluation in total. There is downgrading because, again, on the risk, the star questions are exactly in their nature, the questions related to the highest risk, yes?
Yeah. But in that case, only for the final classification. The classification 0468 is what it is. Then the impact of the star questions will be coming in the A, B, or C classification. And also, one last comment. Talking about subjectivity, we will have, I was forgetting that here, in between 6 and 4. We will find in the Red Book a table to help you to allocate the classifications. One interesting topic to avoid this subjectivity is when we are here in between 6 and 4 from a process point of view. When we are talking about 6 and 8, of course that we have deviations, but the product still is functional. When we talk about a 4 or a 0, the product is no longer functional. So it can be a visual defect in a non-appearance part for an 8, or it can be a difficult to assemble for a 6. But if it is something that will not work, that lost function, then it should be a 4 or a 0. That's one of the topics that you can use as a rule of thumb, as an indication to provide some support for the classification.
Okay, almost like in FMEA with the severity, yes, loss of the primary function, secondary function.
Exactly.
Yeah, thank you very much, Pedro, for this question. And let's meet for another question. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.